For this podcast, we're proud to partner with Zurich Life and Investments. As one of the last true independent life insurers, Zurich has always believed in the value of advice and the professionals who provide it. They continue to invest in programs such as this one that are designed to strengthen the health and reputation of the advice profession. They're excited about the chance to partner with us, XY Advisor, to help shape the future direction of advice and help make it more accessible to more Australians. To find out more or to check out some of the latest advisor support tools, visit the website or ask your Zurich BDM.
We all know education is one of the biggest things in the industry at the moment. It's why we've created the XY Advisor platform. It allows advisors to do short 4-week courses. And what we're really keen to do is to get as many awesome content providers in there. So if you're an advisor or a service provider who have put together an awesome solution which can affect change in the way an advisor does their job on a Monday morning, please do put together an application for us at www.xyadvisor.com.
G'day. How's it going? What do you know? Strike a light, Hayley. It's fantastic for you to be here. What's happening?
Not much. Very glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me along.
And you just you looked at the headphones and you were like, nah, I'm just not into it.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I can hear myself now.
Hey!
I should know this. I actually have a diploma in radio broadcasting, so I should know this stuff.
Are you actually serious?
Actually serious. That's what I was going to do before I joined financial advice.
Be a radio broadcaster?
Yes, but I didn't have the X factor.
Oh, that's a lie. Unless it's just developed over time.
No,
Yeah.
I think it was a hobby. I was 16 years old, so when you have your own community radio show at 16, you're like, that you're at the top. You're peaking.
Absolutely. Did you play? What did you tell me you played Blink-182?
Oh no, I would have loved to. So we had a show called The Rewind, and we would rewind to a year and play the top 10 of that year each week. So it was pretty daggy. If I had one now, I'd be smashing Blink-182, Dashboard Confessional, all the good stuff.
I'd listen.
But yeah, so that's. I should know to put these on. See, that's how you know you put one ear off so you can hear outside noise as well.
That only if you're going to be like the wicka. Yeah, I know what's up. So one of the things that we like to do is find out, one of the stories that our guests have up their sleeve, and you sort of gave a story. But there was a little sort of asterisk, if I was to summarize, it says, I wasn't sure if I was allowed to share my clubbing stories. And I thought, without a doubt, that's the one I want to ask about.
There's too many. But one definitely involves Red Foo. So that was kind of fun.
He was massive.
I saw Red Foo when in the year that I was a finalist at the AFA Rising Star Awards.
No way.
And the judging may have continued after hours, may have ended up at the Ivy, and then Red Foo was there. I don't think I did myself any favours for the judging process for my approach to Red Foo, but needless to say, he would not dance with me.
Okay, so he won't dance with you. What's your story with Red Foo?
I feel like I can definitely only tell parts of it.
Even better.
But I think it was like a radio station event. We'd won some tickets to go. It was a pool party at the Ivy.
Wow.
Me and my best friend.
Loves the
It was
Ivy,
it was like Christmas time as well. So all like that Christmas spirit was in the air.
Yeah.
And so it was a pool party. So I went down the change rooms. We all put our bikinis on, looking fresh. And then we go back upstairs, and I was recently engaged at the time, so I took the ring off, put it in my bag, and I was like, that'll be fine. I trust everyone here.
Yes.
We jumped in the pool, had heaps of fun. Red Foo was going crazy, hopped in the pool with us. It was heaps of fun. Red Foo actually has a really small part in this story. Like, that's the last part
right.
is in the story. Get back to the bag, just pick it up. Everyone got given these Kiss 106.5 bags at the time. And so we get home. It was a really long day, and I'm like, oh, I should put my ring back on. And I open the bag, and there's just a pair of shoes in there. And I'm like, these aren't my shoes.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, I asked my best friend, I was like, hey, can I look at your bag? We just picked up 2 other people's bags completely.
Oh, no.
Best bit was we'd become friends with the people that were sitting next to us. So they contacted us, and she's like, dude, do you have my shoes? I was like, dude, do you have my engagement ring?
What?
Clearly you won on that trade.
Yeah, exactly, definitely. But yeah, so that's kind of one of the Red Foo stories. I can't remember what else happened. I feel like that was a lifetime ago compared to now.
Well, like, are we talking 2008 Red Foo or 2000?
Yeah, so I would have been 19, 20, so 2009.
He was massive
at the time.
At that time,
he was.
Just shuffling everywhere.
Thankfully, like, music has progressed though.
What do you mean, thankfully? That was my good gym gear. It was like, for the 3.5 minutes that I could last on the treadmill, just like.
But that's like when you go to I'm at the gym now and you can pick whatever song you want on, and someone puts like DJ Tiesto on, and you're like, what's going on?
See, I'm so out of the loop. I don't even know who Tiesto is. I've heard of the name. I would have no idea what he does.
Music.
Okay. Okay. That makes things simple. So, how many years until you just completely take over the financial planning industry with your just radio skills?
Oh gosh.
With the fact that you're getting mentored pretty much every day by Peter Diamantidis. No, but seriously though, are you loving it? Are you loving the financial advice?
Yeah, it's I've been in the industry for 10 years now.
Yep.
That's like a blip compared to some people, but I have been able to see it change so much.
Yeah.
And I've worked in such completely different roles, so that's been awesome. I think as I've just come back off 2 weeks in Europe, so I'm definitely keen to dominate now.
Hell yeah.
But in different ways
Dominate
as
more,
well.
you mean?
I think it's not just about like being a financial advisor, just so much more broadly as well. I'm like in this
Just
phase.
dominating life.
Yeah, just I'm a massive knowledge sponge at the moment. So I'm just really hungry to talk to people and keep learning. And I was listening to the podcast with Ryan King the other week.
Yeah.
And I've met up with him a couple of times through the masterminds, and I've straight away messaged him and said, let's grab a coffee. I've got so much to learn.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, I think my next thing I'm really keen to grow in is like helping admin people really learn a lot. So like the XY community, we're learning a lot because a lot of us are advisors or in that sort of space. I think, in my practice with Peter, we have an absolute gem, and her name is Hayley. She's been in the industry for a really long time, and she just knows everything about everything, and she's going to retire soon, and that knowledge is just going to disappear. So for someone like her, I know she's not the only one, and I'd love to see people joining the industry or starting admin roles learn from someone like her.
Yeah,
she knows a lot.
Course on the XY.
Yeah, we should absolutely seconder that information. Make sure it doesn't disappear into the ether.
Yeah, I think even like the Facebook page, like there's so much banter and communication around things that are happening. I think for new folks to the game, there's so much to learn, like stuff like third-party authorities.
Oh, totally.
You only learn that on the fly or by screwing it up a couple of times.
Yes.
And someone like a Hayley could just teach that.
I think most of the best things when it comes to the admin side of financial advice, you learn by stuffing it up. Like,
of course,
Yang, my wife, she didn't have any background in financial advice, and it's like I know, and like when she stuffs something up, and it's something bad, not like really like bad for the client or anything, but just like a huge pain. And then it takes a bunch of time, and I'm like, I'm annoyed in the moment, but then I'm also secretly happy because I'm like, well, that's the mistake. You only made the mistake once. That's how I learned a lot of the things.
For sure. And you've got to have room for that. Like everyone's got to stuff up to be able to figure it out. But I think, with some of these companies, especially the legacy products, you can like do it right exactly how they say, and it's still stuffing up. So I think someone like a Hayley could, if you could go to like an XY group and just say, where the hell do I send this thing, or something like that. Even just being able to talk to clients over the phone, basically. That stuff that you don't have to learn from an advisor, it can be from anyone. I'm going to have to put this thing back on the other ear because it's
there's actually no sound out there other than what's in the headphones. So
I was just trying to be cool, sorry.
Ben,
cool.
I have to ask, Ben, have you taught Yang the same way that you taught me? So my first day on the job as a financial advisor.
I questioned the
this is exactly what happens. It's clear as a clear day in my mind. I'm sitting at the desk, right? And I've spent the last 3 years as a tax accountant. So I'm not like a rookie in an office, but at the same time, I've never actually worked in advice. But I got the diploma and yada yada yada.
Had a nice suit.
Had a lovely suit. It was my one and only one.
Cute.
Yeah, and Ben walks up to my table and he's got this manila folder, this thick, like 2-inch thick manila folder. He just drops it on my desk, boom, and goes, "Get that done." And I'm like,
power.
I said, to myself, welcome to financial advice. So is that how you've taught Yang?
Yes.
To answer in a word, yes.
Pretty much. I think, I don't know, you got to figure it out.
But that's what it all is, like, especially being an advisor. Obviously, there's technical things you've got to know, but I know Peter's really great at this. She goes, figure it out, and you come and ask me. And I think that's part of the learning process.
You got to think it through.
Figuring it out on the fly.
Yeah.
You know, that's half the fun until you make a mistake.
What actually, to that end, what do you find the most fun in advice?
I love talking to people. Like, my job is on the phones nonstop, and I love talking to people, hearing their stories. Even the times when I just need a quick phone call, and half an hour later, people are like, "Oh, and my washing machine broke." You're like, "That's great. I've got to make 20 other calls at the moment." So, definitely talking to people. I love the practice management stuff at the moment. So working with Peter, I get to do a bit of that. And I've always loved that. That's something in the future I'd love to be able to experience a bit more, managing a team of people.
God, I couldn't think of anything worse.
No, I'd love to do that stuff. I love all the logistical side of things. I think everything. I used to be a compliance manager, and people were like, "Oh, you must hate your job," and I actually really liked it. It was awesome. So,
a compliance person that likes talking to people. Interesting.
I know,
That's
what's
an
wrong with
interesting
me?
combination.
What a weirdo. Yeah. So, what do I love about advice?
Well, what part of it do you enjoy? I mean, and you've answered it by saying you like to speak on the phone. Is this sort of your ongoing clients that you're speaking to every day, or is this sort of clients to be, or?
So these are existing clients. So the practice I work with, we take over passive clients. So people that really don't give a shit about their super, their insurance, or their investment. So I've got to look after them on an ongoing basis, or randomly I don't actually have to call anyone. They're all calling in. We have such a huge database that they're calling in, and from that we're doing reviews and things like that.
Yes.
And the biggest learning curve for me has been able to gain trust and educate these people over the phone quickly and easily.
In a first phone call?
In a first phone call, making them feel comfortable that I'm not trying to sell them something, and then from there, educating them simply without anything in front of them.
I thought you were about to say, convincing them I'm not going to sell them anything, and then I sell them something.
Sell them heaps.
I think that's kind of like the reason why I'm doing really well at it, is because I'm not trying to sell them something.
You're a legend.
They're already a client. Like, I just want to help them not feel like it's so complex.
Awesome. What's the process? So someone calls up or you call them, or however that happens, and then you're speaking to them on the phone, you're making them feel at ease, you're considering them, you're treating them like a client. Yeah. And is there a next step?
Straight up, the first question is, what are the fees on my super?
Right.
You're charging me too much. I watched the Royal Commission. So when the Royal Commission happened, I was like, I want to die, because it was just abusive phone call after abusive phone call.
Is that right?
Yeah, it was pretty intense, especially because we have a lot of AMP clients. At the time, it was quite intense for AMP. But after that conversation, explaining the fees, and then, they all want their super to just be performing better.
Yeah.
But they don't want to have any risk, right?
People don't have any concept, I find, with the growth. Like, I had a conversation with a client the other day, and they had one person had 150,000, the other person had 45,000. They're like, "Why is that fund growing more than this fund?" I'm like, "Well, it's got 3.5 times as much money in it."
Yeah.
It could do half as well and still make more money.
But even just talking to people about basic stuff, like I had a lady, she's got $40,000 left in her pension, and she's like, "My husband just wants to take it out, put it in the bank account." I'm like, if that's what makes me feel comfortable, but this has got to last, so let's look at what we can do. She goes, "We just need to put it in high growth, let's get it growing." I was like, "Do you have any other savings anywhere else?" And she's like, no, this is it. I was like, "Would you take this money and go to the casino and put it all on red?" She's like, "God, no." It's like, "So let's not go high growth." Like, people just aren't. It's just having those conversations in a simple way that, just teaching them about obviously risk and return, and then, we follow an index investment methodology, and just teaching people in that space. And I think as I don't talk to people like things are complex, they feel comfortable and they trust me. So.
Awesome.
And how do you have when you're speaking to people for the first time, or early on in that journey, however it goes, like a framework that you use to build that trust or build a rapport with people, or is it different for everybody? Or
it can sometimes follow the same the same path. For older people that don't use email, like I do use some visual aids to email out to people. So we have a bit of a graph that we'll use around asset allocation, things like that. But it does follow the same format, talking about investing, and diversification is important, because for these people, they know nothing. They've got a lot of super funds, but they know nothing about investing, and just having the conversation around what is investing and what is diversification, what is risk, that makes them feel like they now know something. And I've taught them that, so that builds a level of trust as well. And from there, I give them a couple of options, because really it is dictated by them, because it's not as complex as what a holistic client might be. It is a little bit more dictated by the client. When it comes to sort of just their super or just investing. So I guess it follows that same format about that educational piece, just talking over the phone, sending them a little bit of information that's highly graphic, and then having another conversation, and it goes from there. So, and a lot of our stuff, collecting info, it's all done like via jot form. And email.
I think we use that, do we?
Yeah. Something that we've been thinking about moving to is Facebook bots. If you can get to a point where you're using a Facebook bot, I think that's a very friendly way to ask people questions.
You reckon?
Good point.
It can be. Like, I know I couldn't be asked to call up Optus one day, so I just went on the chat box.
I like the chat.
And I had a bit of a stigma, like, oh, they're not going to help me. This is going to go nowhere. And it was fixed in like 15 minutes. So
seriously?
I think there's a bit of a stigma there, where it's like, because a lot of the websites, you go on the chat box, pops up, X out straight away.
Absolutely.
I do that as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But the actual chat for like a service provider, I just like open that up, then I can do some stuff on there.
Yeah.
Somewhere else, and then it's
a massive turn off for me with those chat boxes are they have that like stock standard, hi, my name's Mandy, and it's a picture of a Mandy that's clearly like a stock photo. Like, give me someone real. I want to talk to John.
I like things that like I'm happy to seek out the chat, but I don't like to be presented with the chat. Like, stay out of my face, that's my thing.
You do look like you have that vibe.
I just like to, I like what I like.
Simmer in
I like
there.
what I want. Don't tell me what I want.
Okay.
I feel like you like hip hop.
I love me that gangster rap. Oh yeah. Yeah, Jarul Gold on the door. I'm just going to ask Joe if we can take it for a spin after we finish in here.
I wish everyone could see the head nod he just did. He's like, I love that gangster rap.
I do. So this is what you love speaking to clients, that part of advice. But what do you find, like, what are the biggest challenges that you face as an advisor?
Yeah, definitely one being I'm a young female. I speak to so many people and the question is, how old are you, doll? So that does suck. I don't let it get me down. I think I used to, but I have listened a lot to Phil Thompson with his baby face and learned a lot from that. Like, if you don't let it hinder you, it's not gonna.
For sure.
And if it's an issue, then you work something else out. So it definitely used to bother me a lot, but now I know enough, and I know if I don't, that I can outsource. So I feel more confident in that space. I think the challenges are around because I speak to a lot of people over the phone, doing face-to-face stuff, I'm not as in that space. I'm hungry to do it, but it's just not the way our business is set up at the moment. So that will be a challenge because I know if I have a meeting with a client, it could take 4 hours because I'm just chatting away with them.
That's my whole business. There's nothing wrong with that.
But I look forward to that stuff. Like I can't wait for a time where you just sort of get to sit down with clients. Like I used to work with Deborah Kent. And she's been in the game for a really long time, and her business been around for 20 years, and some of those clients have been there for 20 years as well. So
so impressive. And
I got to sit on that's where I learned advice. So I got to sit in on those client meetings and just see the connection, and that was really special, and that's what I really look forward to one day. So.
It's that progression. I remember, like, when you're first learning the ropes as an advisor. I remember even the first time I did an authority form, I was shitting myself, and and it's just the call center jockey that just want to get you off the phone or keep you on the phone, depending on who you spoke to, and it's just like this progression of things. So
yeah, absolutely.
But I think that I used to work with an advisor, and he used to cop a lot of grief about like being young and he was older than I was, but like, I don't know, I find that I think the more that you build your knowledge and skills and the confidence and stuff, I think that you can overcome that barrier generally.
Absolutely.
Pretty like it, or it becomes like that it's not a barrier.
For sure. And I think the first couple of times you've got to shit yourself and be super worried about it, only to, like, it's sink or swim, right? So you've got to get the courage to be fine with it, and not let age or anything worry you.
And you can ham it up. I struggle to maybe call myself young these days, being 35, but when I was younger and starting out, you can definitely ham it up, and you can like, there is an attractive part of having a young advisor as well, right? Because they're going to be more energetic, probably more interested to prove themselves and do a good job. There's an argument to say that they haven't become stuck in their ways and things like that. So
For sure.
there are advantages to having a young advisor. And I stumbled when I had my business. I stumbled upon this really weird niche with like the C-level executives in Macau casinos.
Yeah, right.
It's a really weird thing because they were all, as you'd imagine, they work in casinos. So they're all sort of a bit party boyish, even though they're 50, 60. And I just became known as the young hotshot bloody financial planner in the city, and they'd be like, "All right, Clay, we're going out for beers," and then I'd meet a couple more. It was I hammed it up. I was like, "Yeah, righto. I'm the young guy in this group, and you guys are the ones with the money, and I'll just make sure you don't bloody ruin yourselves."
Absolutely. That's one of the best lessons I learned. I used to work for Bras and Things straight after high school, and one of the best lessons they taught was just fake it till you make it. Like, the reality is you're not going to know all of these bras in here straight away, so just pretend you do until you do.
Yeah.
And I just have run with that my entire life. If you don't know it, you will figure it out. Like, I live in the age of Google, and I'm surrounded by people that know stuff.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
Absolutely. And the older I get is the more I realize that no one knows anything anyway.
But that's half the thing, is being able to go, we all don't know.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's part of the connection with my clients. Like, they're like, this is so hard and complicated. I'm like, you're right, man. This is hard. It's only because I've studied it that I know. Like, let me help you, because this is hard. You should not be expected to do this on your own.
Okay, I've legitimately got a question. Hopefully between the three of us we can figure this out. What's the difference between an ICR and an MER?
Management expense ratio, indirect cost ratio.
Yes. That's what it stands for. But what is the difference?
Does one?
I think the ICR covers all of the fees,
So
whereas
one has
the
performance,
ICR includes the MER and the other fees.
Or
What other fees?
Is this a
Performance
trick?
fees?
This is maybe a trick, because
No,
they're
it's
the
not.
same thing.
No, because I thought
No,
they
they're
are, but
not.
they're slightly different.
No, no.
Sometimes you
The ICR
when you're doing a
includes-
third-party authority, sometimes, not all the time, but you'll ask for the MER and then they'll say, it might be 1%, and they'll be like, "Oh, do you want the ICR as well?" And I'm like, "Yes."
This
And
is
they'll be
why
like,
you go, can you give me a
1
rundown of the fees, please? And they just list all of them.
Okay, fair play.
Yeah.
Okay, so an ICR. Wait,
includes the MER
would, sure.
and
And
other
yeah.
fees, which I'm not sure.
Well, that would be like
I think
trustee
definitely
fees, all
the performance fee.
Yeah.
okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it includes like the
Right.
these one-off super levy
Levies,
fees that they're
yeah.
charging. But yeah,
That sounds like something you should put in the XY group.
I'm sure that one of our amazing BDMs can post a comment under this podcast in the group and tell us all.
It would be
what
lovely
it
to
is.
know. It would definitely be lovely to know. So yeah, we're all just faking it then. We're literally all
Definitely
just faking it.
Pretty much.
I was like, yep. Hold on, no, definitely faking it. Yep. So, what are you guys working on at the moment? Practice management, you mentioned.
Lots of different stuff. So we use Infusionsoft.
Oh yeah.
So it's definitely maxing that out to the best we can to keep in contact with the huge database that we've got. But I guess the main thing that Peter's sort of working on, that we're all focused on at the moment, is her keynote speaking.
Yeah.
So,
that's cool.
And she's doing a lot of
Smashing
stuff
it.
around dreams. So
Yeah.
trying to tailor the advice process to be more focused on, like, what do you want to do? Like,
Yeah,
what is
yeah.
what is that weird thing you want to do that you think, I can't do that?
Mhm.
So tailoring it around that, because at the moment the advice process doesn't necessarily suit that.
And is that for the existing clients that are like these less engaged, like
Yeah.
superannuation based clients? Is that who you'll be like delivering that sort of thing to, or is it a different market subset or what?
Yeah, so it'll be targeting those people, sort of, I guess, like a more membership style approach, starting sort of one unit at a time. You know, if it's working on your superannuation or working on your cash flow or investment, all of that sort of stuff. So doing it a segment at a time, but starting with the emphasis being on what do you want to do? What's that weird thing you want to do that you never thought you could?
Yeah.
Like, think about that, because the stock standard approach, especially like in the hills area where I'm from, it's get married, buy a house, have kids.
Oh yeah, it's massive out there.
Yeah, it's
I got
intense.
family and cookie cutter.
Yeah, and it sucks as well because I mean, I was in a position where I absolutely wanted that as well. But I think people just forget there's so much other stuff out there that you can do. And it's not just
Don't tell me
traveling
that.
the world.
That means I've made a massive mistake.
What do you mean? You lasted till you were like mid-30s till you got married, man.
Oh yes, that's right. I'm not in the
But
what
you've
did
done
you call
other
it?
stuff
The start of
too.
marriage.
The start of marriage.
Yeah.
No, my life took a pivot.
I see what you did there. I
Nice.
see what you
nice.
did there, and that is good.
Yeah, I when back many moons ago, in another life and another dozen lives ago, I used to play music full time. And
Oh, did you? Were you in a band? No way.
yeah. And
I've never heard that.
yeah, and I married a girl.
Cute.
Yeah, so it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's like the token sentence after you've been married and it doesn't work out. It just didn't work out.
Yeah. It's actually surprisingly not as traumatic as you think it would be as a kid, and you see parents break up. I think it's because we didn't have kids, right?
Yeah.
Like you didn't have kids,
Yeah.
I didn't have kids. When are you becoming a dad?
I got 2 cats. I'm taking the steps. That's my letter of authority phone call. I'm working up to the phone call. After that, we'll figure it out.
That's pretty cute.
Yeah,
Little cat babies.
they're our fur babies. Yeah, they go
Aw.
okay. It's like
They're pretty
I like
cute.
The,
They're
the
pretty
thing
cute.
about I do love my cats. Never liked cats before, but I like these ones. But it's a step up on the like responsibility ladder, which I think is probably
Having a
because
pet?
like kids are like intense and there's a serious amount of things that are required of you when you do that thing. So, but like cats, like I have to go home at least once every 2 days to feed the cats. Like you can't just go, oh yeah, I'll away.
See, I feel like kids
Don't
would be
think
less
about
work.
that.
I'll be honest. I've got a dog. And
Oh,
when he was
dogs
a
are
puppy,
intense. That's the next step.
I was like,
after
I'll
cats.
take a kid over this puppy right now because it's intense.
Yeah,
And that's another thing that I think is not factored into like financial planning. People are like, oh,
Puppies.
we're going to get a dog.
yeah.
Like they cost money.
One
you
of my
know.
clients recently, their dog ate like 27 like stones from the garden, and then I had to have like a full-on operation.
So
It was like
good.
$4,500 for this
Oh.
thing.
It's
And-
crazy.
And then I got these other clients, poor things. They had this really old dog and it died, and they were very upset. They had it for a long time, and then they got another. It's a lab, chocolate lab, and they paid it like it was expensive. These dogs are crazy. Dogs are crazy expensive these days. It's like a couple of grand or something for this dog. And now the dog's got a hip issue. It's just a puppy.
Yep.
And then it's like it won't sit still for the X-ray, so they've got to like anesthetize the dog so that they can do an X-ray, and it's like thousands of dollars, man. It's
I think the only thing, like, because I'm in advice, the second I got the puppy, I got insurance. So every time something's happened, like he's been attacked by a dog.
Wait, the dog has insurance.
You can have pet insurance. So
trauma insurance,
no, it's
level
like-
premiums.
it's There's a loading because he's too cute. So he's got insurance. So every time something's happened to him, I've been able to claim it on insurance, which has been really good.
Right.
But all my friends are like, insurance is bullshit. We're not getting it. It's like, well, you just had to fork out all this money because your dog ate a sock.
Or 27 stones.
Yeah, 27.
I got insurance for my cat though, and it got attacked recently, and it got an abscess on its face. It was $1,000, and
Yeah.
Oh, here's the
it
thing.
got $300.
Here is a thing. Do you just insure one cat, but because they look exactly the same?
Damn. No, 'cause
Except
they-
don't look. I think they have a thing.
I think there's a,
It's
like,
like a
microchip thing.
They might test it. They might test it
I
out.
don't know. That's a really sly move. I like that actually.
That's financial planner.
Damn.
financial
No, that's not
planner.
financial. That's sneaky. That's sneaky.
Wrong. That's
Although,
not financial.
To be
plan.
fair, financial planning is playing within the rules, but you're sneaky. Like for example, the
I
withdrawal.
feel like that's insurance fraud.
no,
No.
that's actually unethical.
Okay, all right, yes.
You're a bad person.
Okay.
You're smart. But you're
But a
dumb.
bad person.
Okay, so withdrawal and recontributions, for example, sneaky,
No.
definitely sneaky.
No.
Yes, try to avoid tax.
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, that's our job.
It's smart but sneaky.
Smart and sneaky, yeah, and fraud.
At least that's ethical, though.
What's next happening for XY, guys?
Good question. Actually, we are swapping over because we sort of soft launch. We made a little bit of hoo-ha on launch, but we haven't really done much more to push it, which is our online training platform. And we've been thinking about it. What is the best user experience? And what we realized was currently all the interaction is behind a paywall. So you have to pay $50 a month to look at anything that's within sort of this platform. So what we're going to do is decouple an ongoing fee from the user, and then the front page will just be all of the courses, and then people just pay
On demand
per course. And then I think we'll probably, as time goes on, we'll probably have a subscription model again, which is cheaper, I guess. But at least, maybe. But at least people aren't, because currently, you get to the front page and then you're just like, well, if I don't pay $50 a month, I can't look at anything else. I'm getting it's a growing amount of traffic that's going onto that website. So what we want to do is do you know what Udemy is?
Yep. Udemy.
Udemy, is it? Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
You
you're
sure
like
it's
one
not
of those people.
Udemy?
It's Udemy.
Udemy.
I love when people get those names wrong.
Did you just say PayPal?
Huh?
Did you just PayPal get those?
I think it's yes.
I said people.
definitely
Have you heard of that
Theopal.
app
I think it's
Waze?
Theopal.
Yes.
I know someone that called it Wazy because there's an E on the end.
Oh, you
It's like-
lazy. You lazy. You lazy girl.
Stop it.
Anyway, back to you and your story.
Yeah. So currently it's behind a paywall, and we want to change it to Udemy.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
Yes.
Udemy.
No,
Okay,
mate, it's a Y on the end.
So we're going to change it to that online course, whatever
Yeah.
you call it. And people can pay whatever they want for whatever course, and people can charge whatever they want, right? So at the moment, instead of everything being a $50 course, people might be able to make a $1,000 course, or a
Yeah, that makes
$2,000
sense.
course, or a $10,000 course, or a free course. Right. So we want to step away from being in charge of valuing how much each course is. And then, because we've got this professional year that's coming up, and no one's put their hand up and said, we're in charge of the professional year yet, right? So we absolutely want to be prepared for when phase year comes out and says, okay, you've got to do this training and these tests and whatnot. We want to help facilitate that if possible.
Yep.
And we just want to be the platform that this stuff is held on.
Yeah.
But because of our personal lack of ability, we won't be the ones producing the content.
Yes, absolutely.
I think we definitely need some admin support staff on there.
Yes.
Oh,
Hillary,
Please.
There's so many people. Like Mia Taylor, like she's an amazing
She's
gun
not
advisor
support
now.
staff. Oh,
No, but she
right,
was
okay.
like where these people, they just have so much knowledge.
Absolutely. It might be an idea if you and
Hillary.
Hillary and
Hillary?
Hayley, trust me, the clients. I was like, "What's your name again?"
and
Hillary.
Hillary, if you and Hillary and maybe Mia,
Yeah,
you guys could definitely create a course.
Love that.
Yeah.
Would love that.
And then
Yeah.
charge whatever you want.
we got-
$1 million.
Hell yeah. Do you know there was an app on the iPhone and it was called Rich and Exclusive, and it was $1,000 for a download, and it got downloaded like a couple of times.
On your phone?
Yeah. No.
You're like,
Hayley.
yay, I'm rich and exclusive.
But can you believe anyone bought it? And you clicked on the button, it's like, congratulations, you're rich and exclusive.
Oh my gosh, that's all it is.
It was nothing. It was
People are
mad.
dumb.
That's
hell
mad.
yeah, especially rich people. No, that's
Exclusive people. Also.
yes.
Only rich and exclusive. Right.
Red food, guys like red food.
He's not rich, that's for sure.
Okay, I've got no
He's
idea.
not rich,
Oh, come on.
but he's got such nice shoes.
And his
That's your
his
go-to?
dad's like Quincy Jones,
What about
isn't
his
it?
hair?
That's
His
it. That would
hair
be
is
expensive to maintain.
Like,
Yeah.
but his hair is his.
That would
point.
actually be expensive to maintain, though.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He
I
must
don't
have a lot of capital. Yeah, no, I'm thinking capital. But no, I think that the changes to the XY site should be quite cool. We had a bunch of people that were in there doing. We've got some great feedback from the courses, but I think, like Clay says, there's that bit of a barrier there. So we just want to break that down.
Yeah, makes sense.
Also, you don't have to wait to do courses.
Yeah, a lot of people like, these are so good and I need CPD points. Why are you restricting me to one and only a handful of CPD points per month? And we're like, that's a good point. Yeah.
And the other thing is because we've got so many awesome people out there in the community that would be fantastic to do a course or to create something like so. But we've previously been running with this 4-module structure, and it's a month-long thing, and we found a few people a bit hesitant about that, a bit scared about it. So shout outs to all the awesome people out there.
Yeah, I think we just sort of came at it a little bit too structured, which is a real, for XY, that was a completely opposite way of we normally do things. And so now we're sort of opening it up to, let's face it, XY really works well when everyone else is talking louder than us.
Definitely you.
Well, XY is the community.
Correct.
When you think about it. And
exactly.
if they're saying this is what we want, like.
Exactly. And hopefully when we get around to it, many people are willing to create a course. So that's what we're hoping for.
So we'll put you down then?
Sure, because I have so much stuff to teach people.
Oh.
Well, we just went through you and Hillary and Mia. I think that would be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
I like it.
Yeah.
So top tips for Paris next time I'm there?
Bell Tower, Notre Dame, for sure. That was one of the most amazing experiences.
What? You went
of my life.
in the Notre Dame?
Yeah, you go in and you climb up the bell tower up to the top and you see the bell.
That's cool.
Do you get to ring the bell?
No. No one can be in the tower when the bell rings. You would be deaf. Like your ears would bleed.
Isn't there someone doing it though?
No. Oh, I don't know.
The Hunchback.
No, well, that was not a real... Hunchback is not real.
When you say not real, do you mean...
Quasimodo was a fictional character.
Okay, but as in...
Plus it's discrimination, I'm pretty sure. It's not politically correct these days.
To what?
Quasimodo.
It's like scoliosis. It's just someone with scoliosis. It's a high-performing individual with scoliosis.
Right.
Or a bell ringer?
A bell ringer.
Oh.
So you don't have to have a hunchback.
All the words.
You don't have to be a hunchback.
One thing I realized when we were in Paris is I stood on the Eiffel Tower and then I realized I couldn't look at the Eiffel Tower. So I was like,
Yeah.
There's one thing in this Paris skyline that's missing. The thing that I'm standing on.
Yeah, that's in London, there's so many things you can go up high on, and it's like, which one is the best one to be the highest on to look at everything? So.
And which one was?
Oh, I wish I had gone on up the Sky
Tell me
Garden. No, so Big Ben's been under reconstruction or renovations for ages, not done till like 2020.
Right, we need our maintenance.
Yeah, exactly. I just got that.
It's important. Got to be looking our best.
Okay. What was the question?
Which is the best high thing in London to look at?
I can't remember.
The Eye? Was it the Eye? Was that good?
Oh, no, I didn't go on the Eye.
Oh, what?
I know. I went up on a few high things up there. What was it? They were all good.
Right.
Let's go with that.
Great answer. Great answer. And your mum was with you?
Yeah, mum, dad, my sister.
Fantastic.
Family holiday.
Shout out to Jenny Pearse, social media entrepreneur extraordinaire.
Marketing consultant of the
Actually,
year.
legit question. Does your mum help with what you guys are doing there at Caboodle and Zaptitude?
Not with us at Caboodle. I feel like that would be a conflict of interest because I'd just be like stealing info from mum, stealing info from Peter.
Absolutely. Then you become the brains in the middle and create the ultimate business.
And I feel like, the power force that is Peter and the brainstorm that is Jenny, it would just be like a glitch in the Matrix if they just, or the Hadron Collider, if they just smush together. So, plus she's got she's heaps busy doing her thing, so I'm not going to bother her.
No, fair enough.
Try and figure it out. I'll just go on Udemy, right? There's a few courses on there.
Udemy.
No.
It's with a Y, man.
Yeah,
Okay.
why? Udemy.
I will,
like the word my.
I will put money down that it's Udemy.
Oh?
It's Udemy.
It's Udemy.
It's Udemy.
It's definitely Udemy. So when people when Caboodle starts its marketing funnel, how many email and how many literally how big is it, that email chain?
Yep.
And is it all one path, or in the emails are there sort of buttons or options to choose which then trigger different chains of reactions?
Because we use Infusionsoft, it's like a Goosebumps novel, like choose your own adventure, really. So we've got a letter that goes out to clients because they're clients that are transferred from other advisors.
Yes.
So they'll get a letter to say we're Caboodle. They got a phone call, and then after that, they'll get a email. That then has links to find out more about Caboodle, book a time to speak with an advisor, fill out a risk profile, a whole bunch of different stuff. So it goes from there, and then we've got a nurturing campaign where we're in touch with them regularly. So off the back of every phone call is an email, so they can always book another time or shoot us back with more questions. Fill out risk profile. So it's really totally dictated by the client. And because we use Infusionsoft, if they don't respond, there can easily be a follow-up email or a follow-up phone call. It's all really automated. So it makes it really easy for us to look after so many clients because it's all triggered by the automation of Infusionsoft.
Do you do any of the Infusionsoft? Do you get involved in that?
Yes. So Peter originally set it up.
Yeah.
And since I've been there, I look after it.
Oh, wow.
So it's learnable, but it can be complex. But my brain loves that stuff. Like a lot of people don't like Xplan. I loved Xplan.
Wow. I think that's the very first time I've ever heard someone say that.
Setting up all the threads, all of that stuff. Like
Wow.
I remember going to Iris training for some of the modelling, and I was like, oh, so how do you model like a property purchase in an SMS? If they're like, we don't know. I was like, I know. So
why were you at the training though?
Because I was with my team.
Right.
And also because there was a whole bunch of issues with their modelling a while ago, so years ago. So we went there because we're like, are we getting this wrong, or they don't know how to do it? So I used
that's the inner
to love
compliance
Xplan.
officer, I feel.
Yeah, probably. Probably. I do miss that. Damn, that was fun being a compliance officer. I felt like I was like the police officer of financial advice.
Oh, the sheriff.
I just would walk into work with a little badge each day.
and a gunslinger.
And what percentage of the clients actually do come in and meet with Peter or yourself?
0.
Really?
Yeah. So we do have face-to-face clients that are more complex that Peter has dealt with in building Caboodle. But a lot of these passive clients that we take over, it's all over the phone. I do a lot of like video calls and things like that. But it's all
with
the passive clients or?
With the passive clients.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've used Skype, I've used Zoom, Facebook Messenger videos.
Wow.
It's
Right.
really easy because you don't have to connect on Facebook. It's just Messenger.
Right.
So all different. And the most recent portfolio that we took over, they're based in Victoria, and pretty much every phone call they'd be like, "Oh, but we like to sit down and be with an advisor." And I'm like, that's fine if that's what you want to do. I feel confident that I can look after you over the phone and via video. And after the conversation, they feel pretty fine that they can too. Like they don't feel necessarily the need, and that's probably because it's not that full holistic complex advice. It is more focused on just super or just insurance or just investment.
I don't know that's the case. Like I've got a few clients in Singapore.
Yeah.
I've got one in France as well. And these guys I've met probably half of them now, because when they come back to Australia, they're generally Aussie expats and we'll just catch up for a coffee or something. But I've still got some that I've never met. I've got a client in Melbourne that I've been to Melbourne a few times, haven't been able to connect with it. I'm going down there in a couple of months, so I'll connect with it then. But we're doing it's all full
scale
holistic advice. I think it's better. In person, I prefer it in person because it's like you get a better sense for somebody else, I think. But I think it's still definitely not a huge barrier. Oh,
it's not a huge barrier. For some people it is. Surprisingly, some of the older clients I deal with, they're so fine. They're so on email. They're like electronic signatures. I'll send them an SOA and schedule a week later to give them a call. They've already sent the authority back. And I'm like, I didn't get to explain it yet.
Yeah, wow.
But I guess either they've got the time or it was just simple to read. That stuff feels good.
No one reads SOAs. It could be that as well.
That's just not.
Do you do like an accompanying video or something like that?
Yeah, so that's what we're trying to build out is some more videos, like with face-to-face videos. A lot of the videos that we've created are screen recordings of keynote presentations and things
Yes.
that are more educational, just because they're cheap and quick and easy to
Yeah, absolutely.
build. But yeah, the goal is to create some more videos. I just got to sit my mug down in front of a camera and get that sorted.
Oh, and do you do an explainer video for an SOA?
No, so it's all, we'll chat to them over the phone.
Okay.
So our SOA, we're self-licensed, so we do have flexibility with what we can put in there. And because we do a lot of educational stuff up front, it does mean that it doesn't have to be as complex in explaining things.
Do you use pictures at all?
Yeah, a lot of imagery.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we're looking at a new tool to present an SOA that is basically, it's like a website. And one of the things we trialed for just like a strategy paper, so an engagement letter, was for each of their goals, picking a picture and aligning it with that, and people, they just loved it.
I remember.
I think Corey does that. Wasley at Pearse down in Melbourne. I think he's got a website thing.
Yeah,
he showed me one of his things. Looks amazing.
I think that's what Paddy does with Spark as well.
It makes a difference. I think it just breaks it up as well. Everyone's on Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat, so they're used to like highly visual things, so it makes a difference.
Yeah, actually,
just need to do it all in Instagram stories.
Yes.
SOAs.
Peter,
imagine Snapchatting an SOA.
Oh,
that would be wow.
Dog filter.
Yeah, Peter actually put me onto an app a long time ago where you can take a picture and then put a quote over this and then style it. And I started just using that as the goals that my clients were telling me that they wanted, and just putting that in the SOA as like one page, and it was just pictures and quotes over the top. And someone said, I wanted to go to Rome, then you just get a picture of Rome, and I want to go to Rome, put that over the top, and I'm like, and this is what you want in life. And they go, that's what I want in life. And I'm like, exactly. And that's where we're going to get there.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many books and speakers out there that have said, like, if you draw out your goals and have a dream board and all that sort of stuff, you're envisioning it, you're more likely to make it happen. So it's just all in that same vein.
Yeah, even renaming the savings account to the Rome account was the biggest uptick in I'll never forget how effective that was.
The flip side of that is calling the spending account because you're like, I can spend it.
Yeah, but that's
the idea.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, but within reason.
No,
you're supposed to spend it all every week.
You got to absolutely smash the entire amount that's in there.
Okay, I'll do that then.
I actually I was reading a blog the other day, and they were saying that when you tell your goals, you're actually less likely to achieve them, especially goals like physical fitness. And it's actually Mark Manson. And he was talking about, because when you say that you're going to do it, then everyone goes, oh, that's
expectation.
mad. And then you're like, oh, yeah, I'm awesome. Yeah. And then you just don't do it because you've already got your rush. So he said you should reframe your goals in a way to say, I want you to push me to do this thing, to make sure I do it that way, because it doesn't give you the same.
One of my good friends said the exact same thing, that everyone goes, oh, I'm going to go buy this house. And you're like, okay, great. And then it doesn't, people kind of get let down because it didn't quite happen. So one of my friends has said, you keep it to yourself. You keep it a bit of a mystery, and then you've only got to impress yourself. I like the mentality where you tell everyone's like, yes, you can do it. But I think there's definitely
a specific house, or
the blog that he follows.
A house.
Have you heard of Mr. Money Mustache?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's pronounced
mustache.
You don't get to tell me words. I'm the word lady. Mustache. Am I saying it wrong?
No.
Mustache.
Oh, yes, you're definitely saying it wrong. Mustache.
Mustache.
M-O-U. Mustache.
Moose.
Mush.
Maybe
Mush.
if you're from Germany.
It's mustache. This is
what happens when you put shit on people for saying words wrong.
You to be wrong.
Okay, we'll see.
But yes, very, very familiar.
So yeah, that blog, I'm pretty sure it was on there. He said that it's not about over announcing your goals too much to people and spruiking it. You've got to keep it in, and not keep it in, but not be over the top with telling people.
Yeah.
I like that guy because he's got a nice haircut, on his hair.
Oh my god!
I don't know what that is.
Haircut. He's trying to be cool. Don't look at him.
Oh my goodness. These jokes, my goodness. Okay, well, Hayley, it's been awesome to have you.
Thanks for having me.
If someone wants to reach out to you, where would they find you?
So I'm on Facebook,
Very good.
LinkedIn.
Yes.
You can pop me an email, hayleys@caboodlefs.com.au.
Excellent.
Or just like yell really loudly.
Just as you're driving through North Sydney.
Yeah.
Hayley!
Or drive really fast in a car and stop at a set of lights and toot your horn.
Done. I'm going to do that next time I'm driving through. All right. Lovely to have you on.
Thank you very much.
Cheers,
Thanks,
Hayley.
guys.